So in this video, I want to talk about meditation, and I want to share more specifically what has worked for me and what I've learned on my journey. To get started, I want to share that meditating has definitely helped me a lot in life. I've had times in my life where I've meditated regularly. Earlier this year, I meditated every day for about a month, maybe 6 weeks, and that was very beneficial to me. But I've definitely felt the benefits of meditation and meditating frequently. Because again, I feel that meditation is similar to gratitude. It's something that needs to be practiced. If you don't do it frequently, you're not really going to feel the benefits. From my experience, I've definitely felt those benefits, and it's definitely helped me with being more relaxed, clearing out my mind, reducing stress, and just living a happier life. Before I start sharing my specific process and what works for me, I wanted to share the two sources where I found most of my inspiration and lessons. And those two sources have been Eckhart Tolle, and specifically the book The Power of Now. I made a separate video about that book. Definitely recommend you check that out. And then the other source has been Jon Kabat-Zinn, and his book that I read was Wherever You Go, There You Are. Now, these two individuals are authors and thought leaders. I've also watched various of their videos on YouTube, and they've been very helpful and insightful. I definitely recommend checking out those two authors and their various books. As always, I'll leave links in the description below. Next, I wanted to share two tips that have really helped me, and these are the two tips that I would give anyone that's trying to get started. The first tip is to find a starting point and then just get started. And what I'm referring to is do your research and find inspiration, maybe read a book, watch some videos, but then get started and don't try and keep learning about it. What I found is that there's so much about this topic available to us these days that one can become quite overwhelmed. There are so many apps that you can download, so many books you can read. There's, guided meditation, spoken meditation, music meditation, yoga meditation, walking meditation. There are all these different approaches. There's mindfulness meditation. The challenge with this is that we can get completely overwhelmed, and at the end of the day, we never even start meditating. Find a starting point, find inspiration somewhere, and then get started. And then tip number 2 is figure out what works for you, because we're all different. What works for me and what I'll be sharing in this video won't necessarily work for you, or you might enjoy something else. And don't feel like you're doing it incorrectly, or you need to first figure it all out or learn, perfect the technique or whatever. Just start, refine the process, enjoy it, and have fun. Next, I wanted to share my 5-step process that I use and that works very well for me. Step number 1 is find a quiet space with no interruptions. What works best for me is to be in a room where I can close the door, I can have privacy, no one will interrupt me, and then obviously I turn off all notifications. I'll even turn my phone to airplane mode. Number 2 is get comfortable, and there are different techniques. You can sit in a chair, you can sit on the floor on a yoga mat, you can lie on the floor, lie on a bed. What tends to work best for me is either sitting or lying. I have done meditation while sitting sort of on a firm couch. What also works really well for me is just lying down on a yoga mat or otherwise lying on a bed, and I just get comfortable, make sure that my head and neck are supported. Then number 3, I relax and I focus on my breathing. I'll breathe slowly, I'll breathe deeply, I'll relax my body. I always close my eyes. I just keep focusing on my breath and I relax. I relax every part of my body. Then number 4, whenever my mind starts to wander, which it inevitably will, I'll let my mind wander, but then I'll slowly bring it back to my breath. I'll focus on my breath until my mind wanders, and then I'll slowly bring it back. And I won't get annoyed with my mind wandering. It is natural. I've got a lot of stuff that I think about, but I just become aware of my mind wandering, and then I bring it back to my breath. And then I try and just stay focused on my breath, because whenever you focus on your breath, then you're in the moment. Another thing I do is actually I focus on my heartbeat. As soon as I lie down and relax, I can feel my heartbeat. So between my breath and my heartbeat, I'll connect with those two vital signs. I find that very powerful. Then number 5, I listen to very specific music. I have a playlist of songs that I listen to, and they help put me into almost like a trance or a space of deep meditation where I relax and I connect with the universe. I'll connect with the light, I'll connect with energy. I will open up my heart and my soul to the world, to the universe, to the opportunities. Again, I highly recommend go out and find what works for you. You also don't necessarily have to listen to music, you can just listen to your breath, but I really enjoy music. I'll leave some links to some songs in the description below, but yeah, definitely go out there and find what works for you. And then the last two things that I wanted to mention is I don't use any apps on my phone to meditate. I actually found that they ended up being more of a distraction than a help. If you use an app, that's fine, or if you want to, try different apps, that's fine. I don't really have any recommendations. I just love listening to music. Another thing that has worked really well for me and that I recommend is purchasing a good pair of over-the-ear headphones. The pair that I purchased is the Sennheiser Momentum 2.0. I'll add a link to the description below. But I found that the over-the-ear headphones work really well in blocking out noise and producing great quality sound. So that's it when it comes to meditation. That's my process that works for me. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any recommendations, definitely leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a like. I always appreciate the interaction. And yeah, happy meditating. I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.